And that is why whenever we hop on, I want to press record and just go. That is the perfect example why. Eshaun is drinking out of his cup. He's got a pina colada in there, so we get tipsy E on this podcast.
Tipsy E.
We call it the Daddy Colada.
And he says he got that cup from WrestleMania 15. I'm like, well, that's impossible because that is right there a house show special. That is a live event special. That may be a Raw or SmackDown. That's not WrestleMania. He's like, no, it was WrestleMania 15. I was like, where was that at? He was like, that was in Dallas. I was like, Dallas. Sir, we are on WrestleMania 41. That wasn't no damn WrestleMania 15. He's like, oh no, 2015.
Of course, that makes lots of sense. I don't know what y'all were thinking about.
That is great. That is fantastic. Happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth,
everybody.
Y'all.
This podcast, we are recording on Wednesday. If you are watching on X, we appreciate you. If you are listening on your typical Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, we love you and appreciate you also. This is going to be episode 144, but this is just going to be a conversation. Because I don't have much. And it's June 19th, which is Juneteenth. If you don't know what Juneteenth is, do your research on that. It's crazy that I think that just went into play like 1863. Think about that. Like we aren't even 200 years away from slavery being legal and all that kind of craziness in this country. But this is gonna be a conversation. I got my wine here. He's got his pina colada. So who knows how quick this comes off the rails or if it comes off the rails at all. But we are here for it. Let's go ahead and intro this pod and get this thing rocking and rolling. Like I said, this is episode 144. We've done 143 of these things already. And shout out to anybody who has been here since day one. Shout out to anybody who has been here since just last week. It's all the same to us. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys for your support. I'm your host, Matt, joined by my two co-hosts, fantastic folks in the world, Rhodesia and Eshaun. You guys know, typically at this point, this is where I say 3 the hard way. And we got our special guest right there, Mr. Knight. We appreciate you. Thank you, sir. Shout out to all of our supporters out there, the freaks who listen to us twice a week and watch our videos and anything else that we put out into the universe. So we appreciate all of that. Before I get started, Rhodesia, Eshaun, y'all got anything y'all passionate about that you want to get off your hearts, that you want to talk about, anything and everything?
Again, just representing Juneteenth. This day became a federal holiday just 3 years ago. June 19th, 1865 is when the last enslaved people was told that they were no longer enslaved. And that to me is celebration. Of course, we know since then we've still been fighting and we still going to probably fight till our race is completely done, or us as human race is done. But like you said, it's only been a couple hundred years. Not even that. So, we got to be happy and grateful for the things that we have progressed in. And then know not to let off the gas and keep moving forward for the equality of all people.
I echo the same.
Beat that, E.
I cannot.
Beat that with your WrestleMania cup.
It's faux WrestleMania cup.
Well, I got something I want to talk about. I want to ask because I came on this platform 2 episodes ago and I asked you guys, was there a possibility? Because we knew Ricochet put his notice in to WWE that weekend. I said, was there a possibility that we could see Ricochet killed off of WWE TV? And I was told by you guys, no, we can't kill people off TV. Well, I'll be damned if the Wyatt Sick6 didn't kill Chad Gable. I think that man is dead.
Yep.
Was that not a bullet to the head?
But that was like the last one. I think they also killed off Braun, right? Or who else was? Braun was back there, I think.
There was somebody else who was laying there that had the blood splatter on the gorilla. He was dead too.
Yeah. But no, what we really, really saw was Chad. Chad, like, dead.
Who was dead? There wasn't nobody dead.
So
you saw some blood. Yeah, you saw some little bit of blood. You saw my man Rowan. I'm assuming that's who he was. He had the little sledgehammer that had to help me on it. He might have hit a dude in the head with it.
But that dude looked really thin. That dude looked really thin.
You don't think he's dead?
No, this is...
He looked dead to me.
You know what's weird?
A couple of them look dead.
I'm sorry, y'all. We said this is a conversation, right? So I guess we're going to go off the racks already, or the rails. brand new gum with this wine is not working out too well for me right now. My taste buds is going everywhere in a nasty way. I'm sorry. You're
Then go
probably
ahead
not
and
supposed
spit
to
your
be
gum
chewing
out.
gum
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Go
during
ahead
a
and spit your
pod.
gum
You're
out
probably
then.
not supposed to be chewing
Yeah.
gum on a pod.
So
Okay.
we got the Wyatt Six on Monday Night Raw. They finished the show. I'll tell you one thing. I am super happy that they did not interfere in the main event. I was worried when we didn't see him, and then they had the triple threat Money in the Bank qualifying match that Jey Uso won. So we are on track there. I was like, please do not come in and interfere and either cost one of the people the match or it ends in a no contest. We did not get that. I thought the production was tremendous. I was talking to I think Bush via text a couple days ago, and I told him like the genius for me in what they did outside of it being shot like a movie was they just showed us Gorilla an hour before, and of course we'll get to Drew McIntyre and him quitting WWE, but we saw Gorilla. We saw Drew and Triple H in Gorilla just an hour before, and Gorilla was perfect. And then we come back at the end of the show, and it is straight out of Friday the 13th.
Destroyed,
Nightmare on Elm Street. I thought it was tremendous. Got a hell of a response from the crowd, which I'm sure they were elated with. I know Rotunda's sister put out a really awesome and heartfelt IG post just around how, she felt Bray at that time and, how excited he would have been. And it was all about just, the family and storytelling, et cetera, et cetera. It was tremendous. We knew it was coming. And as we talked about, I wasn't like overly excited for it, but I said, I'll be here for it. And now I'm here for it for sure. So what was your guys' thoughts about the Wyatt Six showing up and I thought killing people, but he says just knocking people out with hammers or whatever it is.
Let the internet tell it. Chad is the final member of the Wyatt Six. So I don't know what to believe here. I mean, I thought it was done beautifully. At first, again, we're talking completely honest. At first, when you saw the butterflies or the fireflies, I'm like, and you hear the doom doom. Now that beat, that music is so incredible. It's like iconic now at this point. But when you heard that, I'm like, man, is this just like a little bit too much like Bray? And again, we said this before, like, hey, this got to make sense to us. And for a moment, I'm like, man, is this about to be too much like Bray? And it's not Bray, and then I'm gonna get let down. But it was great. I mean, they knocked it out of the park as far as when I said on the last pod, they got to make this make sense if it's gonna be like that, like what Bray had did with the Wyatt family, I guess afterwards. But I was impressed. I was at first a little cringed when I would see the cameraman walking in the back and you saw the different members of the Wyatt family that was there. But whatever, that's part of the production. But overall, I think they knocked it out of the park. Did I want to maybe see that earlier in the show? I don't know. I feel like when they said that they were going to show up, and then we know that Jay is at the end of the show doing the rock and everything, I just knew they were going to come out after that. So I don't know if I should have been surprised or if I felt like I wanted to be surprised that it showed up somewhere else on the show. But overall, I think that it was done to the point where, yes, it made sense. As of right now, all the people, especially when you start off with Nikki Cross, I'm assuming that's Nikki Cross, like perfection. She looked amazing. She started that looking fantastic.
Yeah, y'all, we gonna see. I was big on the Wyatt stuff. I was big on Bray. I was big on The Fiend. It actually kind of made me a little sad when I was watching it. I was like, damn, I miss Bray, man.
On Monday?
I just feel like, yeah, I just miss Bray, man. He was like one of my favorite. Like, I loved like how inventive he was. I'm a horror guy, so I like this kind of stuff. I was a big Fiend guy, and I started thinking. Then I started in my head, started reminiscing like about the Fiend, and I know it kind of went off track a little bit towards the end of that run, and I think I'll blame Vince for that. I don't blame Bray for that at all. Vince McMahon is the worst booker in the world, especially when he got old and horny. But I just miss Bray. Then I started thinking about like, damn, I started missing like we lost him way too soon. We miss Brody. We lost Brody Lee way too soon. We lost Jay Briscoe. Like with these guys who almost got to like that. It's just sad. I thought like, man, these guys were so young, and they got to a point to I feel like they were just about to break out, and then boom, we lost them. Right. So like for me, it just for a moment, I was like, damn, I miss Bray. I wonder where this would have went if Bray still was a part of it. Right. But overall segment I thought was really good. Y'all see how good it did in the ratings? Like they actually went up because when they had the final last game in the final. And Matt Rhodesia, I knew that this was the last game. Like, right, I kind of felt like with Dallas and Boston, like, Dallas got that blowout game on game 3. I felt like Boston's like, we're gonna do this at the crib. We're gonna empty the bench out. We're gonna let y'all do what y'all do. We gonna beat y'all in Boston, right? So we had a closeout game, and Raw still went up in ratings, which typically you would go down. And I think a big part of it was this Wyatt Sick6 introduction. And overall, really, really good showing. I'm curious of where it goes, and I hope it does really well. But we know the cast already, right? We got Nikki Cross, we got Dexter. I'm assuming that's Joe Gacy was the pig.
Yep,
he looks
right?
like him, yeah.
Yeah, so like then I'm interested to see where all of it goes and how all of it mixes together. What Jay Uso already came out and said he don't want no parts of.
he said
Dude,
he's
that was
Fireflies. Y'all can
hilarious.
have him.
Yeah.
I feel him, man.
That's
He don't want no parts
hilarious.
of it.
Chad Gable was dead. I know you saying he's not dead. And then there was word before they debuted that there's no worry about them in the ring because they're not really going to be doing the supernatural gimmick, but then here they are killing people. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess that's
Well,
not.
they're using a gun. That ain't
Well, they're
supernatural.
just knocking them out.
It's just a gun.
But-
Yeah, I mean, that's not supernatural.
Ain't nobody
If you
using
are-
no gun. What is happening in
All
this
right,
when
man.
this?
Okay.
Well, actually, though,
Nobody
hey,
using no gun.
Hey, Eshaun, though, full transparency. We actually watched the entire basketball game. So the views and the ratings actually came from us watching it after the fact. But we actually
Ain't that
watched
about
the game. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I wasn't
It's
missing
true.
that. I knew it was the
It's
last
true.
game of the year.
No,
I
see,
and
y'all-
of course,
y'all-
I'll watch the Olympic.
Y'all gotta
games, but
get
that was
with it, y'all. Y'all gotta get with it. Everyone duels and triple with screens, man. You ain't nobody just
Man,
watching one thing,
no.
man. You better put
I
that
gotta pay
thing on your
attention.
iPad, on
Yeah.
your. No, man.
No, I watched that on
All this
Tuesday
old school,
before I watched
old school
NXT.
way of watching TV. No.
I was able to fast forward through the commercials. I was able to, and I stayed away from any type of spoilers too. So I didn't know anything about the Drew stuff. I watched the first hour, and then I turned to the basketball game and kept that on and watched all the post game stuff. And shout out to Boston. On a couple podcasts ago, I was like, hey, by the time we talk again, series will be over. It was a gentleman's sweep. It was 5 games, not 4 games, but super happy for Tatum, super happy for Brown, for them to get, the championship. And then I started thinking too, like, who is the Boston Celtics in the WWE or even AEW? Right, like that
Just
star.
this year.
Yeah, that star that is, you could see them like at the top of the game, and maybe years from now you can see them at the top of the game, and maybe somehow, some way it's a one and done. Can you guys think of anybody that you would compare to the Celtics?
The closest would be, taking out the last few months from MJF, would be MJF because he's still young enough. So I think they even said this was the first year in like 7 years where the number 1 seed actually won the championship. Yep. So talk about for Boston. So for me, I would probably go with MJF because right before the whole It Turned Awry, the whole devil storyline, MJF was killing it. And I could see him in 6 years, over the next 6 years killing it.
I'm gonna take that question a little differently. I'm thinking about somebody with potential, and I think he's gonna have a great, maybe 2025, maybe. Kaiser. I like that dude, man. Like, I think he's good on the mic. I think I like him in the ring. I think he has the character stuff down pat. To be honest with you, I'm like, man, like he kind of don't really need to be rolling with Gunther, and we ain't seen him in a minute. But like, I think Kaiser can stand on his own as a nice. I don't know if he's a main event heel yet, but I definitely think he can be like a Chad Gable type, heel, right? Somebody who has a presence on the show, somebody who can be in a big spot with a in a big angle. I thought he did a great job last night. He's been doing a great job since he kind of broke away from Imperium a little bit.
Taker said he thinks he's a main event heel.
Word. Wow,
yeah,
that's big stuff.
So that's a big cosign. I was close to Kaiser, but I got Gunther. Gunther is somebody that he can win that championship this year, and then depending on what they do with him, either he can have a long reign and numerous reigns, or I could kind of see him after he drops it, whenever he drops the title, just always being that super upper mid card main eventer, but not having the title.
Damn, you know what, man? I kind of feel like I like Kaiser a little better right now.
Well, that's not fair. But my boy Gunther won the King of the Ring. He said, "Look, I'm set for SummerSlam. I see y'all when I see y'all."
I feel him
like
on that.
Yeah, I like that. Ain't no point in me coming out here and cutting meaningless promos and working meaningless matches. I like that about
He's
what's
so
happening
efficient.
in WWE. Yeah, like just in general. Like if you're not needed, don't come out and cut a 10-minute promo just talking about nothing or these meaningless matches that we see. Like, no, I'm good. I catch y'all in Cleveland when I win that championship, and then we go from there.
Yeah, because otherwise it comes off like what Punk and Drew was doing. We knew they weren't about to wrestle, but it's again, you're just trying to not sell a match, but go out there and talk. Okay, well, there's nothing behind that right now. We already know what's going to happen later. Gunther's probably feel that exact same way. Maybe not. It's not probably not Gunther's decision, but the powers that be are like, there's no point. Gunther got the aura. Don't let that fall
got
off.
for him right now.
Yeah,
at least,
don't
but
let him.
with Punk and Drew, they're trying to hope that, like I said, I don't think Punk is that type of character. He can kind of carry segments with little to talk about. Did y'all hear that Nia Jax said this is the first time she's been on SummerSlam?
Yeah, I saw that tweet.
Crazy.
I was like, damn, that's crazy.
Wow. Okay.
Speaking of SummerSlam, she's about to do her thing too.
She is. I'm excited for her. We talked about Drew. Let's. Well, y'all got anything else for the Wyatt Sick6? Y'all want to talk about? Oh, so one thing I did want to speak on, what I did enjoy. We talked about, hey, can they really be heels? Because they're like part of Bray, that whole thing. And it started with Chad Gable. And the word is that they're going to be feuding or involved in a lot of people's stories. And one of the things that they put out, I guess just this past weekend, through one of the QR codes or whatnot, was something, and it said CG, which now we know stands for Chad Gable. And then the other thing was, you stopped saying thank you.
Yep.
So once again, I'm excited to see just kind of what this is. I'm excited to see what their mission statement is. We don't know anything really yet. Like, it was just, hey, it was great for the whole Bray situation, and we know that is Bo under there, and this is great that he gets to continue that legacy, and we know the other moving parts, but we don't know anything about him still, and why you guys are here, and what's the point. So I will be interested to see if they're just a Raw actor or if they go to SmackDown too. And then do they mention something on SmackDown about him? Like that, I know you said he didn't get shot, okay, but he got hit in the hammer with a head. We go with that one. And there's people bleeding all over the place and electricity. You would think that SmackDown would be also on pins and needles about this new group that just came in and ran roughshod on Raw. Those QR codes also showed up on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
So I am interested to see kind of, do they do something with that? Like, do they start the show talking about that? Because then it's a situation of, hey, this is real life, quote unquote. Hey, this is real. At the end of Monday's show, these guys and just came and destroyed everything. We got extra security tonight. We're going to make sure, they can play that whole thing up. But if they don't talk about it at all, I think it'd be a missed opportunity.
Are we calling this the Wyatt Sick6, right?
And yes. I don't count 5 people that night.
I'm going to say, and it's only 5 of them, right?
Bray's always going to be part of it.
Oh, then that's beautiful.
Yeah,
that would be, oh my God, I will cry right now. That is beautiful. If that is truly what the situation is, I love that. I love that. I was
going to ask y'all if y'all think that's what it was. They're going to.
Yeah.
I love
100%.
that.
Y'all talk about Drew quitting, even though we know he just resigned about a month ago?
This is where, like, when you are like reading the internet and seeing like shoot stuff, like I kind of just want to just be like dumb, and I just want to be like, oh my God, Drew walked out, because it felt like legit. He did it at commercial break. Like, he's like, I'm out. Like all of that. And it felt so good seeing not Nick Aldis, but seeing Adam Pearce like, Hunter, I got him. Let me talk to him. Like, all of that felt so good and so real, like to the point where as I was fast forwarding through it when I was watching it, I'm like, hold on, what just happened? Why is the cameras back there following Drew? I literally almost missed it. Like, to me, that is like so cool, because I would have been like, oh my God, y'all, I would have texted y'all in a group thread, Drew just quit today. But we knew that he got resigned and a sword from The Rock. So
you damn smart fans.
Right.
Insider lingo, man. Take that out the side. From a storyline perspective, I actually liked it a lot, because think about it, the company kind of screwed him a little bit in his home country again. Like we talked about it on the last show. We're like, yo, how does Punk make it all the way into the ring with the referee shirt on? And they allow it to happen. Like, right? They let him get all the way down there to screw Drew. That seemed like a company initiative, right? Or at least somebody was like, you know what? Punk, go ahead and do what you're going to do. It'll be great for TV, right? At the same time, who got hurt? Drew and his family. So Drew came on TV like, man, look, the company's out to get me. Punk out to get me. I'm out. So I thought the whole thing made sense, right? I talked about it last week. I'm like, sometimes, well, just with this whole Punk situation, like a lot of times when wrestling things don't make sense, it just happened. But for storyline purposes, but it kind of makes sense. Like I would kind of quit. I don't know if I would kind of quit. I would be like my man Monty from the Pistons. Like I let them fire me. Let me. I want to go home with my 65 million. You know what I'm saying? Let me
and
get
he's
my
getting money from
you
Phoenix
gonna-
too, and from Phoenix, right?
And he get money from Phoenix too. He's sitting in pretty. Woo.
Hey, happy Juneteenth to Monty Williams. How about that? Happy Juneteenth to Monty Williams.
Happy Juneteenth to Monty Williams, man. He living the Black American dream, man. Getting paid millions of dollars. You understand? $65 million for the next 5 years, family, to sit his black home. And he got money. And he got still got money.
That's everybody's dream. If you can make 65 million of them things to do nothing, to leave. I ain't want to be here in the first place. I'm sure that's what he said. When they texted him, I don't even think they called him. I think they texted him. It was like, hey, Monty, we're kind of moving on from you. He was like, I don't want to be here anyway.
He was like, hey, honey, we're going to Cancun next week. Like, man, look. So like, yeah. So Drew, you did it kind of wrong. I would have got fired. But see, that's the only thing about the difference with the WWE and NBA contracts. Some boys is guaranteed in NBA. They ain't guaranteed in WWE. So, but I thought it made storyline sense. I liked it.
I really just sat there and just thought to myself, why run this storyline when the news is out there that he hadn't or he has re-signed? Imagine if we didn't know. Hell, imagine if we didn't know Chad Gable re-signed and saw him at the end of Raw.
Right,
you would be like, hey, yo.
Yeah, they wrote Chad Gable off too, right? We would have thought that as well. Like,
now, granted, I guess you could say if you flip the coin, you could say, well, maybe that doesn't do them any good because maybe that gets people tuning into Dynamite on Wednesday, like the insider fans of, oh shit, if Chad Gable just got killed off, oh shit, Ricochet got killed off last week, oh shit, now Drew's quitting? Man, maybe they all show up on Dynamite and that may inflate their ratings. So I get that part of it, but just from a reality perspective, don't tell us. And maybe this
I don't. It's only fans like us know and keep up with that kind of shit. I just don't think a lot of people are online enough to kind of know who's being signed and who's not signed, and if they're under contract and what does that mean. And like just because he's signed a contract, I mean you can't quit. Like I can accept the job today and then quit tomorrow. Like it's all relative. That's stuff that happens in real life. But I don't think a lot of people know about these contracts and stuff like that. I think it's just us to know it alls that are kind of that deep into like when the contract starts, when is it over. Like I just don't think people are worried about stuff like that. Like at the end of the day, what you want to do when you're watching these shows, and I get it, we're super fans too, but I think you sometimes just want to watch the show and you just want to enjoy it. Like, right, you don't want to worry about the behind the scenes stuff and the inner workings of contracts. You just want to watch the show and you want to put what you see on and kind of turn your brain off and just watch it. Like, right. So like, I don't know, people kind of seek that kind of information to kind of have those kind of thoughts when they're watching the show.
Do we see Drew Friday on SmackDown? Does he come back that quick and put his hands on CM Punk, or is this kind of drawn out a little bit? Because the word was, and actually I got it here, as of last week's Raw roster sheet, CM Punk's official return date was set for the end of July. I'm told he likely won't be cleared for action by Money in the Bank on 7/6, but he should be ready for SummerSlam on 8/3. So if we're taking a playbook out of the Gunther situation of my spot's already set for SummerSlam, deuces, I see y'all when I see y'all. No point in me showing up every week or being on the shows. I guess we could say the same thing of Drew. If they know, like, hey, once again, North Star for him and Punk is going to be SummerSlam, how do we get him not working matches that don't get to Punk, promos that don't get to Punk? All right, let's run a quit angle. So maybe he doesn't show up on SmackDown, but what's your guys' percentages that CM Punk returns to Chicago and he leaves Chicago in one piece.
Okay, that's like a fully loaded question. So let's go with the first part of how long is Drew going to be gone? What was, I'm going to say the over under, I'm going to say over how long Jay was gone. How long was Jay gone when he quit last year?
What, 2 weeks?
Like 3 weeks?
Like
So I'm going to say over. I'm going to say over.
Yeah, at least maybe 2 shows.
Right. Like, how you come back, Jay? Okay, anyways, I'm going to say he'll be gone if this is mid-June. I'll say he'll be gone for about 4 weeks until mid-July. Because you said August 3rd.
Oh, so you got him come back after Money in the Bank.
Yeah. Or around that time. Yep. And then as far as you said, CM Punk showing up to Chicago, now that we have the Wyatt Sick, who knows what happens? I mean, I guess I don't ever recall any times Punk was up, any of those graphics coming up, but I can't say that for sure. So who knows if he leaves in one piece.
Yeah, definitely could be a ploy to kind of catch CM Punk when he's slipping. And, I thought about that too. Like, he absolutely could kind of, because he's still positioned as like a heel, right? And he can be trying to do some underhand to kind of get at Punk. But at the same time, I'm like, sheesh, man, they really blurring the line on this face and heel thing, man. Because like, that wasn't a babyface thing that Punk did at the Clash, right? That was kind of a heel dirty thing. And it goes into, okay, cool. The company let this dirty, nasty Punk, over the hill Punk, come out and screw me in my home country. So you could see Drew pop up on Punk at SmackDown when he announces himself, or you could see Punk trying to bait Drew to come back in some type of way for a couple of weeks. I don't know. I'm ready to see some physicality between them boys, though.
Yeah, it's time.
And I will say this too: if again this is SummerSlam and Punk is not cleared, more than likely for Money in the Bank, but probably by SummerSlam, I actually don't really want to see either one of them on TV for a while, because we saw how that looked before, and just sometimes those promos could be a knockout of the park or just completely flat and what the F. So I don't want to see either one of them. If they're going to come to fists, okay, whatever. But outside of that, I don't want to see them. And so it's time to build for that match.
It would be, actually, now that we're talking about it, it would be a damn travesty if we don't get Drew McIntyre, Give Me Blood again on Friday in Chicago. You came to my home country, I'm coming to your hometown.
That's great. That's actually great.
And I'm laying you out.
Yeah.
And then we both can come back after Money in the Bank.
I like that.
This story writes itself. Now that we're talking this out loud, like, give me this. And because I was surprised on Raw how that crowd met Drew with CM Punk chance. I didn't think he would have gotten CM Punk chance that quick. Because to your point, he was the face in that match. He didn't cheat in the match. So for that crowd to kind of chant CM Punk, I was like, wow, that's kind of surprising. I didn't see that coming. But yeah, let's get Punk laid out and bloodied on SmackDown from Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, let's go. I like that.
Give me that. What else around that before we get to Seth freaking Rollins? Anything?
I mean, I was about to say that leads us perfectly into kind of the Seth Rollins return. I was actually want to kind of to start there, but we couldn't. That'd be blasphemous not to bring up the Wyatt Sick. But yeah, welcome back, Seth Rollins.
Man, when that music hit on Raw, it took me about 2 seconds to realize it was Seth Rollins music. And that's one of those, once again, when surprises happen for us who are completely enthralled in this thing, you're just like, damn, that was cool. I didn't see anything. I didn't hear anything about Seth coming back, being ready to come back, being at the show. So when that music hit, he came out, and what I was so excited about, our guy Yusuf, this is his guy. Seth is his guy. So, of course, we were sending messages back and forth on Twitter on Monday, but this is the Seth Rollins that I want.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't the over the top. It's not we laughing every 5 seconds. It's not, we don't take anything serious. It's cool if you want to sprinkle that in. But man, when it's time to get to business, it's time to get to business. Mm-hmm. And he talked about the reason why he's in this thing, and that's to win championships. I also thought Priest did a pretty good job. His promo style is just what it is.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like no matter who he's in the ring with, you listen and you watch and you just kind of just like, man, that kind of doesn't match, but that's cool because that's him. Right?
I like them too. Yeah. I like them too. I don't know what you thought about that opening segment, at least with them going back and forth. I thought, and again, maybe because of what we've been seeing from Damian over the last couple of months, and him being under a microscope, I actually thought that this was a really good promo between the two of them. And like you said, Damian, he is the same way with every single one. Is that a good thing or bad thing, or it's just a different thing? And like you said, it's just him. But I thought that meshed really, really well.
Yeah, Seth's cool.
What the
Yeah,
hell?
yeah. Seth's cool. Cool. He's all right. He's all right.
You ready to move on already from Seth? You don't want to talk about Seth freaking Rollins coming back to get what is his? That's a rematch for his world championship
that they made for him, as he said.
But I do want him to take the belt off Damian because I just think he's so boring as the champion, man. I like, geez, Louise, that man boring. Like, get the belt off that man and let him move on to something else. I just wonder what they're gonna do with Judgment Day because I felt like Judgment Day overall is kind of boring now without Mommy, with Damian kind of leading, being a boring champion, a boring leader. Yeah, I'm more interested in the dynamic of like I didn't ask you guys last time. I'm like, man, do y'all like that Liv is the women's champion and she's just there on the show just to get in Dominic's pants? Like, I get she's on the revenge tour, she's trying to take Mommy's man from her, but like all she as champion, she's just presenting herself as a loose woman, trying to get some.
The decorum of a champion, she's not living
trying to
in
get
that.
some what?
Pee-pee.
Trying to get some
pee-pee. The Dom's pee-pee.
Come on, man.
Dom's
you over there sitting at Pina Colada, you can at least say
dick.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Rhodesia. Appreciate that.
But yeah, there is a level of decorum that she should hold herself to as a women's champion. Because like you said, you just like a slut bucket for a Dom. And it's a good story. So like I said, I'm okay with that. I think I have a couple more weeks of me feeling that fully as far as like you're doing nothing with your championship. We know where this is leading to. We know where this is going to, that feud between her and Rhea. But I would say she has maybe a couple more weeks of this. And then I'm like, okay, need to start.
That's a long time. A couple more weeks.
It is. It's 2 more shows. So I'm going to give you that.
She's also feuding right now with Zelina. So that could be a match we get in the upcoming show. So they have done a good job of creating some heat between them two for the last couple of weeks. She's
been straddling Dom more than she's been feuding with Selena on that show, though.
Yeah, of course. That's where the money's at, man. What are we talking about? There was a stat that came out last week about the highest selling shirts, and the Monday Night Raw shirt was number 5. And I was like, man, you were wild if you were buying a Raw shirt.
You spending $35 for a Raw shirt.
A shirt that says Raw. Now, you may be talking sex. I don't know. Or you may be really, really adamant that Monday nights is just your favorite night regardless. Either way, buying a Raw shirt
that's rough.
Crazy in 2024.
Well, if you're buying it for the former, you can just go online and you can make your own damn shirt that says Raw if that's the case.
And pay baby, I like it Raw.
ODB.
Oh, baby, I like it Raw.
Rest in peace, ODB, on this Juneteenth. But yeah, I think, what are we talking about? We're talking
about Liv not being as the glorious of a queen of a champion as she should be because she's busy worrying about getting in somebody's pants.
Luckily, okay, let me not say that. There's a lot of attention being paid right now to Money in the Bank in those qualifying matches. So you can get away with this story right now. If that wasn't the case, I could see where you guys are talking about.
2 points on the Money in the Bank too. I was going to mention a little bit later, but it's perfect here. One, I'm loving the triples match as far as like their tournament. Defining.
You like the triple matches?
I do.
I thought about you when I was watching.
I know, right? Like whoa, this is crazy because it's not like the PLE itself. It's just qualifying matches. So these triple matches. Instead of the singles matches, it's gonna be triple. So it's a double plus a single. What would you call that?
Leave that woman alone, man. Leave that woman alone. Let her cook. Cook.
Triple matches.
I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
It's triple matches. If I'm saying Money in the Bank and there's a match and I'm calling it a triple, then you should know what that means.
So is a fatal 4-way quadruples?
Sure. You could call that. Yeah, absolutely. But these triple matches.
What's a 6-way?
A quinsequenta. Well, I don't know. So anyways, we don't learn that. We go ones, double, triples,
and who's we?
Quadruples. They, them, us.
No.
All of us. Anyways, so
I love. Never said that.
Anyways, I love actually these, and I'll tell you why.
You about to do it
like
again.
These triple matches. They're called triple matches. The triple matches. These triple matches.
Yeah.
I love these triple matches because it is different. We're used to the double matches. We're used to the singles, right? Matches for qualifying to get to the next stage. I like this because it still sprinkles the element of doubt of you're not going to automatically say, oh, this person's going to go over. Automatically, this person go over. And you still have the opportunity to protect people in going through this as well. So for me, because it's not like your PLE match, this is just your week to week episodic show. I love the triples matches for qualifying. I love it. And I love it on both sides. And then lastly, on the Money in the Bank, I am loving the graphic, like the Money in the Bank graphic of them line up and the animation to it. I think that is absolutely incredible. So they being WWE is finding some new production tricks and up their sleeves, and they're able to show it to us. For somebody who's been watching it for 20 plus years, I am liking what I'm seeing for the triple matches.
Oh man, I love it. But when I was watching the men's, I couldn't help
triple matches.
The triple match, yeah.
Yep.
I couldn't help but think about like, damn, we had Jey Uso out there cutting a promo, and he's talking about winning the Money in Geek case. I called it on the show, man. I should have trademarked that real quick like y'all told me to. Mm-hmm. We could have got some free Mania tickets. That's all I would have asked for. I'm like, yo, WWE, send us. Because like, hey, if y'all don't pay for it, I'm not coming.
You already said you're not sitting in the 200s, 300s, the 400s, the 500s.
They had to give me some good seats, yeah. So, so they could have helped us out. They could have supported the pod by getting your boy out there to Vegas. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would have asked for. But we coined down on the show. We said it's gonna be the Money in the Yeet case. I think they listened in. They're like, oh shit, let's go ahead and put it out there right before trademark it, and then yeah, we got it. The only thing, and also the second thing I thought about, I'm like, damn man, like Finn just re-signed. They're giving this man a lot of money to job on the bench, right? Like this man is like he can't qualify for nothing. He ain't none of these things, man.
Happy Juneteenth to Finn Balor too.
Jeez Louise, man.
But to be fair though, you wanted Finn. I know what you mean, but you wanted Finn to win it over Jay. That match.
I want him at least in the damn match. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He was in the match.
No, not in the triples match. Not in the Rhodesia triples
match.
There
we go.
Not in the Rhodesia triples match.
That it makes sense. It makes logical sense. Triple match.
You know, they could do the sometimes they'll do like the week before, like that second chance match.
Second chance. Yeah, I thought about that. Yeah. I'm like, damn, he loses all the matches.
We did get them in that promo backstage, him and Damian, where he teased cashing in on Damian, but he says I'm cashing in on Cody. But it's like I'm not even here for that now. Like I'm out on the Judgment Day personally. And I was out on the Judgment Day kind of when Rhea was still there. I was in on Rhea. I was in on Dom and his stick. But, like, the Judgment Day as a group, I'm just like, all right, man, like, I'm kind of over it. And that hasn't changed at all. I don't think I love them. No, I used to.
Carlito?
Yeah.
Man.
He ain't bringing nothing to the table.
I'm so over it.
Right? Yeah, like, it's just, we kind of just spinning our wheels a little bit. But I guess that's also you ask for long-term storytelling. We got to take the long-term storytelling, even if it's stories we don't kind of care about.
Come on, pal.
Because this is long-term here. It's been way long-term.
I'm fine with it. I just think that Damian's just boring as a centerpiece of all of it. I mean, but you got Slutty Liv, so it kind of adds a little something.
Hey, man, you watch him off by
Liv. Don't do that.
You watch him off by Liv. Now, I don't play that.
Don't do that.
But you did bring up Bourne, so that takes me right to the New Day. My guy, Karrion Kross, is still doing God's work. He's out here cutting a promo on Raw, and he's like, look, I'm trying to break these fuckers up, but it is Juneteenth, so we're going to keep them together for a couple more weeks. As you guys see, E's on the board. Then they cut to Woods and Kofi. And as normal, Kofi taking the spotlight.
Woods can't say a damn thing.
Can't get a sentence out.
Mm-mm.
And he just looks at him. Woo, boy, now we starting to cook. E, you share the same sentiments as your Uncle Dave. Meltzer says that he thinks it's a bad idea for them to go solo because they're not doing nothing. Newsflash, everybody. They're not doing anything anyway.
Sheesh.
Doesn't matter. Break them up. Appreciate you, Karrion. Appreciate you. I don't have anything else from Raw because
I got a few things.
Yeah. So what you got? I mean, I'll just respond.
I thought that Sheamus made Braun look little, and I never thought I would have ever say that before. So that just goes back to like how I underestimate Sheamus and like that school and that graduating class of wrestlers in that time frame, in Sheamus' time, Randy Orton, all of them, because they're all big and huge. We've been seeing them for so many years that you kind of just it looks like them. But seeing Sheamus standing side by side to Braun, did y'all notice that size discrepancy?
Sheamus is a big dude, though.
Mm-hmm. But
He a
did you
big old
expect
dude.
that against
Oh, yeah.
Braun?
Sheamus. You know, like Sheamus, I would like to see Sheamus stand next to Billy Gunn
Mm.
because
Billy Gunn
I
is
think
huge.
that
Billy Gunn is
Sheamus,
huge.
Billy Gunn's kind of like that. Like they just don't
Mhm.
carry themselves as these big monsters. Drew's the same. It's the same vein.
I was gonna
I think
say
those
Drew
three dudes,
and,
Yeah, I said that graduating
Drew,
class of them. Yep.
Drew and
Randy
Billy are probably
Orton.
really close.
those dudes, like these 6'5", 6'6", 270-pound thick men that just don't
Ooh.
carry themselves like mine. Like
Ball
Billy,
big time.
Billy,
He said thick
meaty-
men.
These are meaty
Is that
men. You know what I'm saying?
getting to
This is meaty men, man.
You over there
Like,
How
working
you
the
spell that
soundboard?
thick? How you spell that
Find the
thick?
sound bite for that, nasty man.
Is
you
it THICCC? There we
You over there
go.
talking about
You know what I'm
thick-
saying? Big,
While
thick,
you drinking
meaty
pina
men.
colada.
You know what I'm
Thick
talking
Billy,
about? Like these,
Big Drew.
yeah. Like
Thick
those
Sheamus.
some big,
Going on?
meaty men, and they don't carry themselves as like big meaty men. Like right, they act like they like 6 foot, 200-pound guys, but them some big old
Thick.
dudes.
You call my girl Liv a slut in one sentence and then talking about thick men in another sentence. You still taking that pina colada to the head. We get this shit is nuts.
It's hot in here,
Damn it,
y'all.
E.
It's like 95 degrees out here. Hold on.
Oh, so we thought about some thick men. She over there hot. This is let's
No,
get off
I've
this
been
podcast,
hot.
man.
I've been sweating.
Man, let's help you out, man. Let's get off this podcast, brother.
I've been
We're going to
sweating.
end this mug abruptly. It's 41 minutes in.
Hey, I'll tell you what though. This is perfect timing. If anybody's watching this live, the Kendrick Lamar concert is tonight, and it should be starting. Actually, I think it's starting now. Not Kendrick yet, but I think Kendrick's on in a couple hours. So I'm excited for that. I'm a massive Drake fan, but he took his L, and tonight should be a victory lap for Kendrick and the city of LA. So I'm excited to see how that plays itself out. We were just talking about y'all was talking about thick men, and you was talking about Brian Breaker. Another good week from Brian. That spot with Kaiser was fantastic. I guess they went through the practice on it earlier in the afternoon, and they nailed it perfectly during the show itself. Like I said, he's a world champion next year. I truly believe that. I think he'll be world champ by 2025.
I probably won't argue with that, especially if I'm still seeing a lot of this over the next several weeks. I wouldn't disagree with that. But the other Braun, your Braun Strowman, he runs so freaking goofy. So we got Braun Breaker who runs like a freaking cheetah that will pounce on you. Did you see how Braun Strowman was running out of the ring and out of the arena last night or on Raw? I'm like,
he was gimping a little bit.
Dude,
He looked like his leg got caught in the ropes, like
seriously,
like Damian's did at Clash.
Like
I got a question off topic.
You a monster
Sorry.
though, but hold on. If you a monster, like I ain't scared of that monster. My other demons are much scarier than Braun Strowman.
Hey, Rhodesia. Hey, I thought when he was running, I was like, choo choo.
I would never say this in his face though. All right, Braun.
Choo choo.
All right, off subject, Matt. What you saying?
If I didn't love him, I would hate Pat McAfee.
Oh, he's so over the top.
If I didn't love him, I would hate him.
He called everybody white and all that stuff.
And next Raw show, outside of him being funny and his energy, I'm going to really listen to his commentary to see if he brings anything to the table. I don't know if he does. I love him. I think he's incredible. I do. I think he's fun. He's somebody that for me is like, I tune in also to listen to him. But that's like also like the Booker T in NXT. Booker T is the worst commentator in the history of wrestling. But he's the funniest, which makes him maybe one of the best. Do that. But he's horrible.
Yeah, he's horrible.
He's horrible.
He's horrible.
Booker T sounds like he doesn't watch the product.
No,
Booker
not
T
at
sounds
all.
like he doesn't watch the product while he's commentating the product. That's how Booker T sounds.
That sounds like how I would probably call him.
Yes, you over there talking about your triples whatever the hell you were saying.
Triple
like,
matches. But it
that's
makes
something
sense. If I guarantee you ask 100 people who knows about pro wrestling, what would remember how you was asking us a couple weeks ago? Definition, saying it to a person off the street. If you ask them what is a triple match, then they would tell you 3 people in a match together. That's just a fact. Don't hate me. Hate the game. Oh, that was so old.
Oh,
they
Lord. that was your boy. That's Booker T.
Booker T. All Booker T does is says something that you can just pay attention to for half a second and then include "oh yeah" at the end, and that's his commentary style for 2 hours. Jada Parker's got it. Oh yes, man. It's like we all know it. Lola Vice. Oh yes, we got it, man. We know it. Trick Williams got the crowd. Oh yes, man. We got it. Book. So they really should do. Imagine Book and Pat McAfee and just them two for a 2-hour show.
Oh, classic. Be classic.
That's one big son of a bitch. Oh yes, man.
That's actually pretty good though. That was actually pretty good.
What else from Raw?
I love that Shayna called out that she made Jay tap.
Hell yeah, she listened to the pod. And she said it.
I was like,
she
yeah,
said
Shayna.
it almost damn near the same way we said it on Sunday.
Yep.
Appreciate the support, Shayna.
Mm-hmm.
You can follow us on X too, and that's F&W. Yeah, but no, she caught it. She caught it, and it looks like because they're talking about getting their rematch or challenging for the title. So maybe we don't get Bianca and Jade immediately. We talked about that too. We'll find out on Friday, I guess, kind of where we're going with that. Did you guys see the video that was circulating online from Clash of the Castle where the referee is telling AJ in the first match, watch out for the ropes?
No.
Yeah, so like he comes in and does his intro, and then I think Cody's coming out. And the ref like kind of touches the rope, and he says something to him.
Oh man!
And then the video proceeds to show like 4 people
having
issues with the ropes, during that show. So
hey, you know what?
I don't know why they couldn't tighten up those ropes. If you guys have ever been to a show, they definitely do them a lot of times, especially on like the house shows. Like halfway through, they'll retighten the corners. I don't know what that was about then.
Hey, I started to ask you guys when we were going through the show, but I think I might have lost it. I wonder what they're having problems with the ropes. Because, like, you don't see, like, 2 or 3 times, like, different acts, having problems, like, with the springboard. Maybe it wasn't tight enough, right?
Yep.
Like, at least, how many? It was like at least 2 times.
It was at least 3.
I mean, was it 3? I thought it was 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like,
I thought include Priest. You're talking like 4.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So I was like, maybe it was something wrong with that top rope. Because when I saw Jade, then it happened so many times afterwards. I don't really remember twice actually. But like, maybe something wrong with the ropes. So there you go.
It was. Yep, it was. What else from Raw?
I saw something on the internet. I didn't click on it because I thought it was clickbait. But I see that Samantha wasn't there on Raw. Anything up with that? Because Alicia Taylor was on commentary. At least from what I saw, Alicia Taylor was on commentary. Is Samantha gone too? Is she on vacation? Like I said, I never clicked the link of what's in the future of Samantha. Any word, any news out about her?
She's also heading to AEW, sounds like.
Whatever.
And by you laughing, that was BS, so you shouldn't even brought it up.
But I could still ask about it because again, she could be like about to go record.
She minded her business is what she was doing on this past Monday.
You know what?
She was minding her business.
You asked what's next from Raw or what else you got from Raw, so I'm bringing up something that I saw from Raw.
You're right, because I only got one more thing.
Now, I don't have nothing else.
Yeah. E, what you got?
You don't got nothing else either.
Look, he just smiling. Oh, no, right. And he's on mute. That pina colada is kicking E's ass right now. Yo.
Hey,
happy
look,
Juneteenth.
I tell these guys, instead of asking what else, put it in the chat so we can move this thing along. Move this thing along, Matt.
Hold on. Okay, wait, hold on.
You're too busy. Look, stop. Even we put it in the chat, you too
busy.
busy
Can't move it.
messing with the message with the damn soundboard. You wouldn't see it anyway.
How about I sent something? I sent something at 5:39. 2 things might I ask in the chat at 5:39. Got no response from you, Eshaun.
Look at him.
No, I didn't need to respond.
And I answered your question.
It says all nuts. My internet went out.
Before that.
I put okay.
No, before that.
Before that. Okay now.
You asked the question.
I put okay.
You asked the question, and then I said, "What mic?" That was even before 5:39. Actually, that was at 5:34. So don't tell us about putting stuff in chat because you're not checking the chat.
So we'll pull the curtain now. I try very hard to get this background sounds out, but I don't know which one of it is. Is it husband or wife? But every podcast, one of y'all at least drop the microphone, jump the microphone at least a couple times. I just said leave them mics alone because every time it's like boom, boom,
Actually,
boom, boom.
said leave them damn mics alone. But it's
Leave
cool
them damn mics alone.
because you were the one that used to always mess up the sound, but now we're the ones messing up the sound. Look, I got one more thing, and that was Undertaker saying he hopes Tony Khan gets his shit together. Did y'all see this?
Yeah, I saw that. That's for maybe a week ago.
Yeah.
The internet went out. I didn't hear anything you just said.
Oh, did it
I
really?
said Undertaker said he hopes Tony Khan gets his shit together.
But what context? I mean, like, give me more than that.
Okay, before I give you more than that, you tell me what you think he means by that.
That's before you lose something that is very good and got potential to be very great. You need to check yourself before you wreck yourself. That's what I think that he's trying to say.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
What he said was, hopefully one day AEW gets their crap together and genuinely creates some competition. That's probably not a popular take from most WWE insiders, but the way I look at it, competition's only going to make you better. He said, I don't think there's a real true locker room leader in that locker room. I'm not sure. I have nothing against the man, but I don't know what Tony is the guy. I don't know if Tony's the guy to run the company. I mean, his heart's in a good place and he wants to do something, but I just don't know that he has the acumen to run a wrestling company against the juggernaut that is WWE. But hey, I could be wrong. There was that one other time I was wrong. I hope they get it together and we do have some competition. It's better for the wrestlers. It's better for the audience, the fans. It's better for everything.
What was that one last time that I was wrong? There was one time I was wrong. What is it? Oh, okay.
83 weeks.
Almost
took WWE out of business.
Got it.
That was the one time. So
got it.
Watch this. There you go, E. I agree. Right?
How about that?
That's okay.
Like, really loud?
These boys are going unedited every week now. I'm not fucking with none of these. Hey, but Matt, I got right around those lines, right?
Yeah.
Because Tony Khan came out and said he makes wrestling for sickos. All right, and I was like, hey, look, stand on that, man. Like, that's your vision for wrestling. Stand on that, but make it as good as you possibly can, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Kevin Kelly, because he's big mad at AEW and Tony Khan, right? They fired him, let him go. I guess there's something popping off back behind the scene with Ian Riccaboni or something like that. But he had an interesting quote. Okay, he said that Tony Khan has good people around him that he doesn't utilize. His vision of what wrestling is for me works best on a small scale. People always wonder why the PWG stay small. They knew if it went big, that would get stale fast. And so they had to keep it special to keep it niche. He wants to appeal to a niche audience with his vision of wrestling, but he thinks he can convince people to watch on a grand scale. I thought that was actually, from a dude that's on he's mad with the company. I actually think that was a very logical assessment of their programming.
That's evident when they had Mark Henry. And then it didn't seem like they used him. I'm not back there, so I don't know. But just having Mark Henry on your team in the beginning, in the inception, when it was in infancy, and it just didn't seem like you had him doing what he needed to do to control that locker room. So I'm quite sure that's a very fair comment.
Just not using. Because I think one of the reasons why he may not use like a Mark Henry, some of the veterans, is because he has a vision he has a very passionate vision for what he wants that show to be. Right? I don't think that may align with some of the older guys, right? So he wants to appeal to that niche, hardcore, quote unquote, sicko audience, right? It worked for the first couple of years, right? But now that WWE is WWE, it's just not working for that to cater to such a small niche audience. And I think that's why guys like Taker and other veterans, they look at the program like, man, look, that show, that indie show that you booking for live TV every week, it's not going to cut it on a bigger scale.
I think the level that we want. To the level we want, because you can say it's working. They still have a nationally televised deal. They're going to get re-up. They go live every single week. Their pay-per-views are pretty successful, but we just know what it can be. because we also saw what it was previously. And when people who have been watching forever for a very, very long time, and I get people who are like, well, hey, that's the WWE style. We don't want the WWE style. I get that. I do get that, because there is a such thing as a WWE style kind of in the way. Not as much now as it used to be, but you look at Impact, you look at, and that's kind of really it from a, big company. But with AEW, you can just see where if they just tweak some things, they would just be so much better off. And that's why it's not like the shows aren't horrible, right? If the shows were horrible, nope, Taker wouldn't say that. It wouldn't even be on the radar. It wouldn't even be. But when you can say like, okay, they got the talent. Okay, they got great TV. Okay, they do some tremendous things that can get eyeballs. But then when you see things that are just missed, that they don't get anything out of, and they do it, and you're kind of just like, okay, man, like, you really could have rolled with that. You could have ran with that and made it a big deal. While you were talking, I just pulled up tonight's lineup. It looks like, it's a good show, right? Like, you got Claudio and Bryan Danielson and Pac it's triple threat. It looks like.
No, not Chris triple threat.
It's
no, it's not.
match.
It's not. I'm sorry.
Triple match.
Bryan Danielson's on commentary, so it's 1-on-1. Claudio and Pac. That match is gonna be great. Chris Stanlander, Nyla Rose for the Owen. I'll be shocked if Nyla Rose wins. Like, that's why you use Nyla Rose. Don't use her just because you need.
Hold on, she's on tonight.
Yeah,
yep, she's on.
Yep. She's fighting Statlander.
I'm not gonna.
You got MJF versus Rush, which kicks off the show. You got the contract signing for Mina and Tony Storm. You got the face-to-face with Swerve and Ospreay. You got the Young Bucks versus the Acclaim in the World Title Eliminator. And then you got looks like a 4-on-4 match. Yeah, 8-man tag. Mark Briscoe, Kyle O'Reilly, Orange Cassidy, Dante Martinovitz against Roderick Strong, Claude Fletcher, Takeshita, and Zack Sabre Jr. You look, it's nice card. Nice card. So,
you know what? This is a nice card for people who already invested in the show. Like, right, that card, as is set up, is not going to draw people who may have stopped watching, who have never watched. Like, you put that card up, they ain't like, okay, yeah, you know what? That's when I need to watch tonight. I need to see these things. If you're already invested in the show, like, there's some nice things for you. But at the end of the day, you're advertising Nyla Rose, who, like, I don't know if she's been injured, but like,
they just don't use her. They don't use her until they need somebody to go over on her
to do the job, right? So immediately that's going to be a job match, right? It's going to be a nice match, like, right? Even like with my guys, man, I like Top Flight.
Yep.
I like Top Flight Security, but like
every time
that they're gonna lose those matches, right? Top Flight Security, like, they're gonna lose. Like, and also if you watch the product long enough, if you watch the shows long enough, like we do, we know these dudes are just gonna be there just to give a good match, right? But ultimately they're gonna lose at the end. So as a fan, are you really that excited just to see them lose in the match? Like, right? But at the same time, like, Matt, I don't think those shows are ever gonna be more than what they kind of are. I think they've made some small changes which are needed, but Tony has a vision for wrestling, and I think CM Punk said, like, look, that company isn't set up to make money necessarily. It's a passion project for Tony. Like, this is his vision for wrestling. He's gonna see it through to the very end, and he got bottomless money, right? And hopefully he gets another big deal that he can continue to provide as alternative to the company, continues to provide jobs to other workers because it's needed. But I don't think the show is ever going to be more than what it is with Tony Khan running it. I don't think Tony Khan has any intentions on changing his philosophy on wrestling and how he wants to do it. Those shows, it is what it is.
God bless his vision, because if it wasn't for his vision, we wouldn't be seeing Tony Storm, wouldn't be seeing Swerve at the level. Mercedes would be in WWE, but she would be Sasha Banks. We wouldn't be seeing Okada on weekly TV. We wouldn't be seeing Ospreay on weekly TV the way they're presented. So there are some positives for sure. It's just a matter of what we look for a lot of times. They just miss. They just miss a couple things. A couple quick things that we can get out of here. I wanted to highlight a couple of comments. Our guy, 2Dog2Cats22 is back on Instagram. He was listening to our last show when we were talking about Randy and Cody. And he said, triple threat. KO, match. Randy Orton, and Cody. Just thought about it after seeing the end of Cody's match again from Clash. Are you guys here for a triple threat KO,
match.
Cody, and Randy Orton match at SummerSlam?
No, I don't want KO involved.
I mean, I guess KO could take the loss. So yeah.
And that's why I don't want him in it.
but that would be the reason why you would have him in it.
A little bit of suspense.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, yeah, you know what I mean? Like if it's just Randy and Cody 1-on-1. And I think that match would be great if you throw in KO. While it makes sense, you can make it make sense from a story perspective for sure. We just kind of know KO's probably taking that pin.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
A couple of comments. So I clipped up the Cody Rhodes clip about him potentially showing his real side. I put that on YouTube. And a couple of comments. One person said, Zoe said, Rock's Bloodline versus Cody's Bullet Club. Yes, I am including GOD as part of Cody's club. Or we could see a new legacy with Cody, Lexis King, Randy, and a few others. Very interesting. I think it is very interesting, Zoe. I think there's zero shot of that happening. But I do think that's an interesting perspective. Anywhere outside of WWE, probably. But in WWE, I don't think they would go with that.
Yeah, because I don't think they would go to telling those stories to bring those pieces together. But I like the way you're thinking.
Mm-hmm. Chris Hessen says, well, I mean, so because the question I said, are we starting to see the real Cody Rhodes? He said, well, I mean, John Cena did something similar in his I Quit match with Batista, where he picked him up for the AA and he onto the top of the car onto the stage, and Batista quit, and Cena still AA'd him. He did. That was in Detroit, and that was absolutely a heel move. But we all know Cena wanted to be a heel. Hardock said emotions ran high, and he had to send a message to the locker room. Cody is the undisputed royal champion. And then L Lucky 7 said, this is funny. He said, sorry, but only a heel disobeys his mama. You know what, L Lucky 7? You are correct. 100%.
So then maybe he's a face then.
Correct. At that point, he's a huge face.
Yeah. So I get that actually was the only argument of all the ones that you named right there, as if this is the true side of Cody or not, because you're right. You're not gonna not listen to in his mama like Puerto Rican too? Or something like that. You definitely not about to. You definitely not about to not listen to a Puerto Rican mama. Like
on Juneteenth, we don't make up people's nationalities. Okay, you
his
do
mom
research and then you just can't throw things out.
So we talk about research, right? So I did do the research. You asked me about 10 minutes ago. How do I call something? I said like sex, like sex or something like that. Actually, when you get to like the doubles, quadruples, and all that stuff, you get to 6.
Look at E's eyes.
6 is
that boy is gone.
He really is.
That boy gone off that pina.
His eyelids is thick too. So you know, like
hey, I used the Ninja blender and I still got half left in there. I need to go ahead and
you are really weak though. Like so one Ninja blender. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna judge you like that. But it's sextuple.
She gonna call me weak and say she's not gonna judge me. You already done judged me on national.
Look, she led with that, right?
Yeah, she
led with the judgment.
Where's the flag at? Let me throw the flag in. Sorry, I don't.
Ain't even white. God damn it.
It's sextuple. It's 6. Okay, sextuple.
Got it. Okay, yeah. I like that.
Septuple is 7 and octuple is 8. So it wouldn't be like a 8-person tag match. It'd be an octuple match. Okay, I'm done.
All right. Yeah, I think we're all done. Check the chat. Rhodesia, make sure you didn't put anything else in there.
I stay on top of it. I stay on top of it. No, we can't ask, is there anything else we got? You got something else to eat?
Before we bid our watchers and listeners adieu. Once again, thank you guys for being with us every single week, twice a week. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Check us out on YouTube. That's Freaking Wrestling. That's where you can see the full videos. Of course, we already talked about YouTube or Twitter and Instagram. That's F&W. Allegedly, this just came through, and this is funny. This has nothing to do with wrestling. So if you're just here for wrestling, talk to you next time. JJ Redick could be a name to watch for the Pistons head coach opening. I don't know if I believe that. And
man, JJ ain't coming to no dang Detroit
you know what
Pistons.
I'm saying?
He ain't coming here.
I don't know about that.
Here.
I don't know.
Hey, but
what y'all think about?
I would take him though if he want to come. I'll take him.
I mean, beggars can't be choosers.
Okay.
The draft is next week.
Yeah.
We ain't got a GM. We ain't got a head coach. Who the hell making these picks next week? That's all I want to know.
The vice
Tom
president.
Gores. Tom Gores is.
Hey, but you know, I actually I had that as a note. Gores remind me of a lot like Tony Khan.
Why? Because they. Okay, I was about to say something out of line. I think I should stop.
You was about to say something. See, ooh,
How they party? I was about to say how they party. So I'm gonna
speaking
stop.
of parties, you see Justin Timberlake. He gets down with them, I guess too.
What happened? Whoa, what happened?
Oh, you didn't see that?
No.
He got stopped for DWI. They said that boy had all types of drugs in his system. Cocaine. It was like 4. It was 2 of them I never even heard of before. Like, damn, JT. I remember you were telling Brittany when you was high on life, like, stop drinking. Damn, how quick things change, man.
That wasn't quick. That was 20 years ago, but I get what you mean.
My man got stopped. He said, man, this is going to kill the World Tour. I guess the cop had no idea who Justin Timberlake was. Listen. And he was like, what tour? He was like, the World Tour. He was like, man, who was you, dude? He was, I'm Justin Timberlake. My man was like, look here, you just blow right here and you get up here and do one of them funky jigs you do and see if you can walk a straight line. That's nuts. Yeah, Justin Timberlake, you make that black music, you got treated like a black person that day. Yeah. Happy Juneteenth to JT.
Yeah.
Happy Juneteenth to JT. He's out of jail though, so maybe he's not like us. Not like us, Kendrick Lamar tonight. I hope he runs that back 15 times. Back to back to back to back to back. All right, y'all, we done. I just wanted to get to like an hour and like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm sweating a lot right now, so let's go.
Gotta do what you gotta do. He's about to go get cleaned up. He's about to go take care of another pina colada. I'm about to go and I'm about to just go turn this concert on. It's on Amazon Prime is what they said. So we'll be back on Sunday. I'm still holding out hope and thinking about going to SmackDown on Friday. I don't know if I'm gonna pull the trigger or not. They got a couple of tickets left, but man, the ticket prices are so damn expensive now. They are charging a hefty premium for WWE shows. I'm still trying to figure that, or I just want to wait until August when Mania tickets go on sale. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if we're in the building or not. If we are, great. If we're not, great. We'll talk about it either way on Sunday. He's about to go to sleep. Look at them eyes. Ready to go take a shower. We'll holler at you guys on Sunday. Peace.